Today I stand before you with a message designed not only to uplift but also to awaken your soul. It is time to recognize the unmistakable signs of God's divine hand upon your journey. There comes a pivotal moment in every believer's walk when God begins to shift the very foundation beneath their feet. He whispers into your heart, urging you to ascend higher. Yet before He raises you up, He unveils certain signs that ready your spirit and align your path with His divine purpose. When God sets the stage for someone's elevation, it is never by chance nor without reason. He moves with deep intentionality, guided by a masterful plan far beyond human comprehension. Every new level in your life is not merely about climbing to a higher status, but about stepping into a greater duty, a calling that aligns with His kingdom's agenda. Before taking you to the next stage, God ensures that you are completely prepared, not just in talent but in character and vision. This phase of preparation is often concealed from others and may even go unnoticed. However, it is crucial, for elevation without purpose breeds confusion, and advancement without readiness results in failure. God begins this transformation by refining your sense of purpose. If you have found yourself asking profound questions like, "Why am I here?" or "What is my true calling?" understand that these are not mere thoughts of curiosity. They are divine stirrings within your spirit. God is molding your heart to align with His plans, for He knows that every promotion requires a commitment to purpose-driven action. You are not raised for applause or personal gain, but to fulfill a distinct assignment that God has specifically designed for you. This is why the process may seem prolonged, even frustrating. God is never in haste because He prioritizes your refinement over speed. He takes the necessary time to instill wisdom, patience, and humility, virtues essential to carrying the weight of what lies ahead. Think of David, who, though anointed as king, did not immediately ascend to the throne. Instead, he spent years tending sheep, learning to lead in seclusion. This was not a delay but a divinely orchestrated preparation. God was teaching David the principles of leadership by first entrusting him with flocks before He entrusted him with a nation. If you feel stuck in a season of waiting, do not despise it. Waiting is never wasted. It is a time of preparation. God utilizes this waiting period to cultivate the fruits of the Spirit within you: patience, kindness, faithfulness, and self-discipline. These qualities are crucial for the next level because elevation without spiritual maturity can lead to arrogance and ultimately downfall. God knows exactly what He is doing. He is shaping your character to match the mission He has prepared for you. Another key part of this preparation is the shaping of vision. Before God takes you higher, He grants you a glimpse of where He is leading you. This vision might not be fully revealed at once, but it will spark a deep sense of purpose and destiny within you. It will challenge you to expand your thinking, aim higher, and place greater trust in Him. More often than not, the vision God gives you will appear far beyond your current circumstances or resources. This is intentional, for it is meant to stretch your faith. If what you see in your spirit seems impossible, take heart. That is confirmation that it is truly from God. He is preparing you to depend on His power rather than your own. The process of preparation also includes pruning. Just as a gardener prunes a plant to increase its fruitfulness, God removes things from your life that may be stalling your growth. This could mean releasing relationships, habits, or opportunities that no longer align with His plan for you. Though pruning can be painful, it is essential. God understands what must be left behind so that you can flourish in the season ahead. Trust the pruning process, for it signifies that He is making space for new growth. During this time, God will also position you with divine connections, people who will mentor, uplift, and sometimes challenge you to grow. These relationships are not random. They are part of His design to prepare you for the elevation ahead. Pay attention to those who enter your life during this period. Some will pour wisdom into you, while others will push you to become more than you are. Both are necessary for your development. Finally, God assesses your faithfulness in small matters before entrusting you with larger responsibilities. He observes how you handle your current obligations, even when they seem insignificant. Do you approach the little things with diligence? Do you remain faithful even when no one is watching? These tests are not about performance but about character. They help determine whether you are truly ready to handle the weight of what God is about to release into your life. When you begin noticing these signs, clarity of purpose, pruning, new vision, divine connections, and tests of faithfulness, recognize that God is actively working. He is setting you up for something far greater than you can presently fathom. Elevation is not about achieving a higher status. It is about stepping into a greater calling. God is not merely promoting you, He is positioning you as an instrument of His will on earth. Trust the process, embrace the preparation, remain faithful. God's timing is always perfect, and when He elevates you, it will not only transform your life, but also profoundly impact those around you. When God is ready to take you higher, He often ushers you through a season of pruning, a time when elements that once seemed crucial begin to fall away. This phase may feel unsettling, even painful, as relationships, opportunities, or comforts you once relied on begin to fade. However, understand that pruning is not punishment, it is preparation. It is God's way of removing what no longer serves your purpose so that you can bear even greater fruit in the future. Pruning is a divine strategy. A gardener does not prune a tree because it is unproductive, but because it holds the potential for even greater productivity. Branches that drain energy, hinder growth, or cease to bear fruit are cut away to make room for healthier branches. Likewise, God identifies areas in your life that may be impeding your full potential. These could be habits, mindsets, or even relationships that, while beneficial in a past season, can no longer accompany you into the next. This process may feel like loss, but in truth it is disguised gain. When God removes something from your life, He is not depriving you, He is making room for something better. If you have experienced doors closing, opportunities vanishing, or people walking away, do not see this as abandonment. Instead, recognize it as a sign that God is setting you up for a season of abundance. During a pruning season, you may also encounter challenges that test your character. These trials are not accidents. God allows them to strengthen your faith, refine your patience, and develop perseverance. Just as gold is purified by fire, you are being refined for the purpose ahead. One of the hardest aspects of pruning is releasing people. Some relationships are meant to teach, challenge, or comfort you for a specific time, but when that season ends, holding on can hinder progress. Just as a tree must shed dead branches to grow, there are people in your life you must release to move forward. Though pruning may be difficult, trust that it is for your good. Every loss, every trial, every shift is part of God's master plan for your elevation. Trust Him in the waiting, trust Him in the pruning, and trust Him in the process. When the time comes for your elevation, you will be ready to step into His divine purpose. Remain faithful, for God is always at work, even when you cannot see it. Like distractions, this is God's way of realigning your heart with His divine purpose. He is guiding you to focus on the eternal rather than the fleeting, to prioritize His will over your personal desires. Pruning can also manifest through silence. There may be moments when it feels as though God is distant, when His voice seems hushed and His presence appears faint. However, even in these times, He is actively working. The silence is not an indication of His absence, rather, it is a method He often employs. These quiet seasons are intended to deepen your trust in Him, teaching you to walk by faith rather than by sight. Even when it feels as if He is far away, He is actually drawing you closer. What makes the pruning process bearable is the promise that accompanies it. The discomfort of pruning is only temporary, but the fruit it produces is eternal. God is not removing things from your life arbitrarily. He is creating space for growth. He is preparing you to receive His abundance, to walk in His fullness, and to bear fruit that will not only impact your life, but also influence the lives of those around you. So if you find yourself in a season where everything seems to be falling apart, shift your perspective. This is not a season of loss. It is a season of preparation. Trust the pruning process, even when it feels painful. Know that God's hand is upon your life, carefully and deliberately shaping you for the next level. The fruit that emerges after pruning will not only validate the process, but will also surpass anything you could have imagined. Hold on, stay faithful, and trust the gardener. He is preparing you for a harvest of abundance. When God begins to transition you to the next level, one of the clearest indicators is a deep sense of uncommon restlessness. This is not an ordinary discomfort stemming from impatience or dissatisfaction. Rather, it is a holy stirring within your spirit. You start to feel as though the place you are in, whether physically, emotionally, or spiritually, no longer fits. It is as though your spirit recognizes that something greater is calling you, even if your mind has yet to fully comprehend it. This restlessness is divine. It is God's way of signaling that your current season has fulfilled its purpose, and now it is time to prepare for what comes next. You may begin to notice that things that once brought you joy or fulfillment no longer satisfy you. The job that once excited you may now feel mundane. The relationships that used to energize you may now seem out of sync with your spirit. Even your routines and habits might start to feel insufficient. This does not mean that anything is inherently wrong with these things. It simply means that God is expanding your capacity. He is broadening your vision and preparing your heart for something greater. When this restlessness arises, it can often be confusing. You might wonder if you are being ungrateful for what you have or failing to appreciate your current blessings. However, be assured that this discomfort is not a sign of discontentment. It is a sign of divine movement. God is disrupting your comfort zone because He knows that growth and elevation require change. He is stirring the waters of your life so that you will not settle for anything less than His best. One reason why this restlessness can feel so intense is that it challenges your sense of security. Humans naturally gravitate toward the familiar, even when it no longer serves them. The thought of stepping into the unknown can be daunting, but God is calling you to trust Him on a deeper level. He is using this holy discomfort to loosen your grip on the familiar so that you can fully embrace the new thing He is doing. Remember, faith is not about staying where it is safe. It is about stepping out into the unknown, where only God can sustain you. During this season, your perspective begins to shift. What once seemed acceptable or sufficient no longer aligns with the vision God is instilling in your heart. You start to dream bigger and perceive possibilities you had never considered before. This is because God is enlarging your territory, not just physically, but also spiritually and mentally. He is giving you a glimpse of what is possible at the next level, and suddenly your current environment begins to feel too small for the vision He has placed within you. This restlessness often sparks a hunger for more of God. You find yourself longing for deeper intimacy with Him, a clearer understanding of His Word, and a greater alignment with His purpose. This spiritual hunger is an indication that He is drawing you closer, preparing your heart for the elevation that lies ahead. When you lean into this hunger and seek Him with all your heart, you will begin to gain the direction and clarity needed for the next step. You may also find that this season of restlessness creates a separation from certain people or places. Not everyone will understand the shift happening within you, and that is okay. This season is not about seeking validation from others, but about obeying God's prompting. Some relationships and environments are tied to the previous season, and holding on to them could hinder your progress. Trust that God will bring the right people and the right opportunities into your life at the right time. Ultimately, recognize that this holy discomfort is a gift. It is a sign that God has not forgotten you. He is actively working to bring His promises to fruition in your life. Embrace it, even when it feels challenging. Let it drive you to prayer, to His Word for wisdom, and to His presence for strength. This restlessness is not the conclusion of something, it is the beginning of something greater. As you surrender to God's leading, you will come to understand that the very things causing discomfort are actually the catalysts for your growth. Trust the process, lean into His presence, and prepare your heart for the new level He is calling you to. Your current circumstances may no longer fit your spirit because God is stretching you for something extraordinary. When God begins to elevate you, He often presents opportunities that are both exciting and daunting. These new doors are a sign that you are stepping into a greater realm of purpose and influence. However, divine elevation rarely comes without challenges. The opportunities that God places before you often appear as obstacles requiring faith, courage, and wisdom to navigate. This is because God is not merely interested in blessing you, He is invested in growing you. The opportunities He provides are not meant to make your life easier, but to mold you into the person He has destined you to be. Each new door comes with responsibilities, decisions, and sometimes battles that test your readiness for the next level. It is in these moments that your faith is refined and your reliance on God deepens. One of the first things you might notice about these opportunities is that they often seem larger than your current capacity. You may feel unqualified or overwhelmed by what lies ahead, but this is intentional. God will never call you to something you can accomplish in your own strength. If the opportunity feels too big for you, that is a sign that it is perfectly sized for Him. He wants you to depend on His wisdom, power, and provision as you walk through the door He has opened. The journey ahead may be filled with obstacles, but the God who called you is greater than any challenge you will face. Trust Him. Embrace His leading and move forward with confidence. The doors He opens will take you to places beyond what you could have envisioned, preparing you for the abundant harvest He has in store. And sharpen your focus amidst these challenges. It is essential to uphold a perspective of faith. Instead of viewing difficulties as barriers, start recognizing them as openings for growth and transformation. Consider Joseph. He was raised to a position of great authority in Egypt, yet his path was laden with trials, false accusations, and imprisonment. Each of these hardships might have appeared as a hindrance, but within God's plan, they were stepping stones, shaping Joseph for his ultimate calling. As you navigate these fresh opportunities, take the time to acknowledge and appreciate the small victories. Every forward movement, no matter how minor, signifies progress. Recognize God's faithfulness in the journey and cultivate gratitude for His provision. Gratitude shifts your focus from struggles to blessings, constantly reminding you that God walks with you at every turn. Moreover, understand that these new opportunities extend beyond personal gain. God's elevation in your life is always intertwined with His greater kingdom purpose. The doors He opens are designed to position you to make a difference, to be a blessing, and to bring Him glory. The challenges that come with these opportunities are integral to the testimony He is crafting through your life. So, when new opportunities arise, do not shy away due to the obstacles they bring. Instead, move forward with faith, courage, and wisdom, knowing that God is by your side. He has already equipped you for this moment, and the very difficulties you encounter will serve as proof of His power and faithfulness. Trust in Him, draw strength from His presence, and fully embrace the opportunities that come with your next level. When God begins to elevate you, one of the clearest indicators is the orchestration of divine connections. Elevation is never a solitary endeavor, and in His wisdom, God arranges relationships to guide, support, and even challenge you along the way. These relationships are not random occurrences. Rather, they are divinely appointed to help you navigate new dimensions of purpose and responsibility. At pivotal moments in your journey, you will notice that the right individuals start appearing. Some will arrive as mentors, those who have walked the path before you and can provide invaluable wisdom and counsel. These mentors are gifts sent to help you avoid missteps, grow in discernment, and mature in your calling. Pay close attention to their words, learn from their experiences, and respect the role they play in your life. Beyond mentors, God also sends supporters. Individuals who believe in the vision He has instilled within you and stand by you as you pursue it. While they may not possess all the answers, their faith in you and loyalty will be unwavering. Their presence serves as a reminder that even when the road feels uncertain, you are never alone. Cherish these relationships, for they will be the ones lifting you in prayer, cheering you on, and reaffirming God's promises during times of weariness. Interestingly, not all divine Connections will be sources of comfort. Some will challenge you, pushing you beyond your comfort zone and provoking you to grow in ways you never expected. These individuals may test your patience, confront your assumptions, and refine your character. While they may not always be easy to engage with, they are vital to your development. Much like iron sharpening iron, their presence in your life is meant to stretch and strengthen you. Instead of resisting their role, embrace the lessons they impart, for they are part of God's preparation for your elevation. Divine connections also serve as alignments, often arriving with a sense of divine purpose and clarity. Conversations with them carry depth. Collaborations flow seamlessly, and the timing of their presence feels undeniably orchestrated by God. These individuals may open doors you could not access alone or provide insights and resources that propel you forward. Recognize these moments as clear evidence of God's hand at work, positioning you for the next level. However, as God aligns you with the right individuals, He may also call you to release relationships that no longer serve His purpose for your life. This can be one of the most difficult aspects of elevation, as not everyone who begins the journey with you is meant to complete it with you. Some relationships must be relinquished to make space for those in alignment with your future. Though it may be painful, trust that God's plan is always for your ultimate good. He will supply the relationships and support you need in the seasons ahead. The journey of elevation is not without its difficulties, but it is one of purpose, growth, and fulfillment. Every step, no matter how challenging, is a step toward becoming who God has called you to be. Each difficulty, each divine connection, and each open door is an opportunity to draw closer to your destiny. Embrace every opportunity with faith, courage, and wisdom, knowing that God is with you at every turn. He is faithful to complete the work He has begun in you and will never abandon you. Continue to trust in Him, lean on His strength, and walk forward with confidence, knowing that the best is yet to come. Not every relationship is meant to last indefinitely, and holding on too tightly can hinder your progress. Trust God's guidance in discerning which connections are seasonal and understand that letting go is not rejection, it is divine alignment. Discernment is vital in this season. Not every person who enters your life is sent by God, and not every opportunity for connection is divinely ordained. Pray for wisdom to recognize the difference. Divine connections are marked by peace, purpose, and mutual growth. They bring clarity rather than confusion, and support rather than distraction. As you seek God's guidance, He will reveal who is meant to journey with you into this new season. One crucial element of divine connections is reciprocity. While God will place people in your life to pour into you, He will also position you to pour into others. Elevation is never solely about receiving, it is also about giving. As God blesses you, be intentional about being a blessing to those around you. Share your wisdom, offer encouragement, and extend support to those on their journey. This mutual exchange strengthens relationships and fulfills God's greater kingdom purpose. Ultimately, divine connections are a testament to God's faithfulness. He knows the road ahead and provides the necessary people to help you succeed. These connections confirm that His plans for you are good, His timing is perfect, and His provision is abundant. Lean into these relationships, honor their significance, and trust that God is using them to prepare you for greater things. As you advance to the next level, remember that no one rises alone. God places the right people in your life, not just for support, but to refine you into the person He has called you to be. Stay open to His leading, attentive to His voice, and grateful for the divine connections He provides. When God begins to elevate you, one undeniable sign is the birth of a fresh vision in your heart. This is not just any aspiration or idea. It is a God-given preview of the future He has prepared for you. These visions are profound, stirring your spirit with excitement and alignment to His greater plan. They act as seeds of destiny, planted by the Holy Spirit to ready you for the next phase of your assignment. This fresh vision often emerges unexpectedly. It may interrupt your routine, filling your heart with a thought, a dream, or an idea that feels beyond your current capacity. Yet it is unmistakably clear in its essence. God reveals glimpses